1 week ago, this was how Ryan Villopoto's weekend began. But it ended with his 4th win of the season. For Ben Townley, nothing but frustrations. First, a bad day. Then he loses a points lead. 2 rounds to go, 2 contenders, 1 team, 1 championship. AMA Motocross Lights. The 2007 AMA Toyota Motocross Championship returns to the Lone Star State for the first time in nearly 20 years. Round 11, the first ever Monster Energy Techco Freestone National. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen alongside multi-time national champion Jeff Hemmick and Aaron Bates helping to cover the action for us down in the pit area. Jeff, the last time the AMA Motocross Championship was in Texas was around 1988.
That's right, Ralph. San Antonio, I was there. But this week we are in Freestone County Raceway, a brand new facility, a brand new track, purpose-built just for this national. This weekend is the first time that any bikes will be on this racing surface.
There's the 101 of Ben Townley. He's in the thick of the points chase, battling with his teammate, that man right in front of him, the number 1 of Ryan Villopoto. And you know, the last round at Steel City in Pennsylvania, things didn't go so well for Townley, and it really hurt him in the points. And it all began in Moto number 1. He crashed at the start and then had this problem too.
Yeah, had a situation where he came down through those mud ruts. Mud got stuck in his rear brake, had to do a complete 360, as you see, to get back on the track. But you just had this feeling that this day is not going the way that he wanted.
That was Moto 1. Here's what happened in Moto 2.
Moto 2, once again, on the ground, just loses the front end. Just overall a big effort for Ben Townley, but not the overall result that he wanted.
On the flip side, Ryan Villopoto's day also got off to a bad start, but it finished strong. He was involved in that melee at the beginning of Moto number 1. Here's what happened as they got to the first turn.
And what was so interesting is that it was Townley and Villopoto's teammate, Austin Stroop, in his very first AMA motocross race that takes them both down. But in this championship race, having both guys down,
Villopoto went on to win Moto number 2 and the overall. The things look pretty strong for Villopoto in the points. Now, it's only 6 points, but the way this championship's been all year, 6 points is a healthy lead with 4 motos left to go. Well, before we get this one underway, the man in 3rd, Josh Grant, is standing by with our Aaron Bates.
If he keeps it consistent, then it's pretty much guaranteed that he's going to wrap up 3rd place this season in the MX Lights division. But he's had a little bit of misfortune and some mishap, and I'm talking about 24 of Josh Grant. Josh, the first half of the season, really good. The second half of the season, a couple of injuries have plagued you. But talk about what went on with your left hand last weekend at Steel City and how you're feeling at this point.
Right now, I mean, I'm just kind of settling for 3rd. Lawrence isn't here this weekend, so it's going to be easy for me to wrap it up. I don't even have to race, really. So I just had a crash last weekend in Steel City and dislocated 2 fingers and wasn't good. So I didn't ride all week. This last week in Florida, I just kind of hung out and, you know, let my fingers heal and come back this weekend. It still hurts, but I'm just going to go out and ride smooth and, you know, do it for the Sobe No Fear Samsung Honda team.
Now, this crash has prevented you from riding all week. How do you prepare yourself for coming into a track that nobody else has ridden?
I don't know. It's just exciting to come to a new track, so I think that it makes it fun. So I just, you know, I was really looking forward to see what the track was like. I've been here before, just before there was even a national here, and, you know, I really like this place, so it's good.
Josh Grant, he's riding hurt, but you can expect that he'll still be giving it 100%.
All right, Aaron, thanks for that Progressive Direct pre-race report. And, Jeff, when you go to a track like this, you got to wonder what is going to happen. Well, they dropped the gate on Moto number 1. We give you a little bit of an idea. As they did that, Brock Kepler and Martin Davalos took off and put on quite a battle for the lead.
And one thing to look at, Ralph, is that the first turn here is a right-hand first turn. It's hard to get on the brakes. Everyone wants to push wide. Can definitely be some problems. And you see, it was just a drag race to see who could get out front on this first lap and lead the very first lap at Freestone County Raceway, an AMA Motocross Championship.
Then Townley and Ryan Villopoto got off to a terrible start, but that's Townley on the ground on the right on the number 101. Ben would end up working his way back into the points after starting from dead last once he got going again. Villapoto, meanwhile, in green on the number 1, chased down Brock Kepler for the lead.
Brock Kepler has really been riding well of late, but it is so hard to stop a man like Ryan Villapoto that is just on a mission, and he is focused on winning that championship. He has all the momentum here at the end of the series.
Looking stronger and stronger each and every round. Meanwhile, Nico Izzi, who everybody's thinking is going to be a potential championship contender down the road, had bike problems while running in the top 5. Villapoto went on to win the moto. But behind him, things got pretty intense. Watch Austin Stroop and Brock Kepler go at it for second.
And you can see the youngster here just going for it. Blast around the outside of Brock Kepler. This is for second in the moto. What an incredible start here for Austin Stroop.
Very impressive performance out of the young Austin Stroop. Well, here's a look at our Toyota Trucks results from moto number 1. So Villapoto takes the win. Where's his title contender? Townley battles all the way back to 6th.
And that is a significant amount of points difference towards the championship.
Here's Aaron.
A 16-point lead after this first moto coming in here. Freestone, Ryan, obviously this is a big moment for you. Did you take a look around and see Townley down at one point, and what was going through your head when you finally realized that he was that far back?
Well, I didn't really know until I came by my mechanic and he told me that that Townley was like 30th or whatever, and I hate to see that, but I guess it's just I had a DNF, and I guess everything comes around, and I just feel bad for him, but I'll take what I can get.
Well, here we are at Freestone getting ready for moto number 2, and it's coming up, and we return to Texas. Truck, that's changing it all. Is the passion for 2 wheels in your blood? Well, now you can get all the breaking news, in-depth analysis, and more with a Motorcycle Racing Report, only at speedtv.com, keyword green, presented by Kawasaki. That's the Big D, downtown Dallas, about an hour and a half away from Freestone. That's the closest big city here in Texas. Ryan Villapoto sitting on top of the points lead. Has to feel good about winning moto number 1.
Well, he's just in the zone, Ralph. He is so focused and so driven towards winning this championship, and you can see every moto that he's on the bike. I mean, this kid is on it.
Here's our format. We'll have 40 riders in the gate. It'll be our second of 2 motos. Each moto, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Top 20 riders scoring points. Well, before we get ready for this one to go green, let's go to Aaron.
Well, you're taking a look at a very frustrated 101 of Ben Townley lined up at the starting gate here for the second moto. You witnessed the very first moto go down, a 6th overall, but not what he had wanted whatsoever. 3 crashes, all of them on his very own, especially the first one. He found himself a section of mud, even on this dry track, crashed there, and then 2 more times trying to pass other lappers. Obviously frustrated at this point. He's looking forward to putting it all together here, and as I came around the corner at this crucial moment, at the starting line, he was looking up above to the sky with a cell phone in hand. When I asked him who he was talking to, he said he's asking God for a little bit of help on his side right now.
Well, like we said, Jeff, this championship is awful tight as you take a look at the starting lineup. Ben Townley knows he can't afford to give up another point today.
Yeah, and I haven't seen a smile on Ben Townley's face since after the first moto at Millville. You can tell he's working so hard for this, but the momentum is just not going his direction. Still, championship isn't over. True champion like him is going to keep battling all the way to the end.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. This one will go down to that last moto at Glen Helen before everything is decided. Ricky Renner will carry our onboard camera for us on his 532. Look like, Jeff, as you take a look from our Honda onboard sky cam, he's going to start to the inside of the doghouse as we go towards turn 1. Villapoto out front with the whole shot. Where's Townley?
We got Trey Kennard in second also. Great start by the rookie.
It looks like Townley's in the top 5. Boy, this young crop of rookies coming up. You see Brock Kepler on the 60, coming around the outside, trying to take second. Going to get it away from Kennard. there's a young crop of rookies, Jeff, that are really impressive this year.
Oh yeah, 3 riders, Kennard, Izzy, and Stroop, have just came into this class here with a lot of speed, a lot of determination, and their fitness and all of that seems to be in place also, which is a true testament to amateur motocross and how they're grooming these riders to become professionals.
So Villapoto right where he wants to be. Here comes Townley, trying to force his way. Oh, a bit of a bobble there, trying to get around Kennard.
Just playing the spoiler, Kennard is not giving these championship contenders any room at all, racing them hard. And that's, I tell you what though, it's hard to do that because the guys racing for the championship, I know you guys hear me say this every week, but they are just at a different level. And they have so much more on the line and so much more that they're just going to risk it for. And it's hard to compete with that. These guys have been on the gas. Also talking about Brock Hepler also came back in after some injuries, got right back up to speed and battled these riders hard too.
It's been one of the best championship battles we've seen in years, and these 2 riders have just given it their all, and they've done it with a lot of class, great hard racing, very clean between Ben Townley and Ryan Villapoto.
Well, I think them being teammates definitely has something to do with that. I think these guys both being former champions in different disciplines has a lot to do with that also, and it's a true testament to their character.
Well, he finally gets around Kennard, and now Ben Townley will go after Brock Hepler.
And I tell you, for Townley right here, he knows, he sees that his teammate, the points leader who's battling in the championship for it, is out front. He knows that. There's this huge sense of urgency that, man, I got to get there. I got to get up front. And he keeps trying. He's busting his butt every week. But Villapoto is just a little bit out front each time.
Here's our progressive direct hole shot replay.
And you see how everyone's bottled up on the left side, the inside. And like I said in the opening, this is a right-hand first turn, so as you want to stick your right foot out to turn the bike and help balance yourself, there's no rear brake because your right foot has to be on the right peg to use the rear brake. So definitely a difficult first turn.
It's been pretty good so far for Ryan Villapoto. Nice smooth weekend, just like he was hoping for. Here's Townley now reeling in Hepler. Hepler in the blue and white riding gear on top of the Yamaha number 60. And right behind him comes the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki rider, Ben Townley. Oh, Townley! He's off the course, but back on. He is running everything as wide as he can, trying to carry as much speed as he can, trying to reel in Ryan Villapoto.
Oh yeah, Ben Townley's letting it all hang out here as he slips past Hepler, taking second place. Townley, you can see, is just a man on a mission. Also, just really using up all the track and more. Fortunately, though, Ralph, when he went out through the banners and came back in, he didn't get those caught in his rear wheel or anything. We've seen so many times when riders are battling for the championship and they catch a little bit of banners. If the momentum's not in their favor, they're the guy that the banners pick up, get on the rear brake rotor, you lose your rear brake, moto over.
Could have been disastrous.
This is that sand whoop section. That's actually a man-made sand whoop section. They actually brought in a lot of sandy soil and put on top of this racing surface. But I'll tell you what, I've raced in Texas a lot throughout my career, and Texas has some of the best soil for motocross that there is in the world.
Why is that? What do you like about it?
Yeah, it's just the composition. It's just like a sandy clay, and it's just a really good place. They have a lot of great motocross fans down there in Texas, and I know that they're pleased to have a national motocross event back in the great state of Texas.
Back to the front with our leader from our Honda Skycam. Ryan Villapoto trying to extend his points lead over Ben Townley. Trying to win the first AMA National Motocross Championship race in the state of Texas in 20 years.
The racing you need.
Battling for that title at the amateurs in Tennessee. Both of them right now coming here playing in the pro ranks, and we've also seen Austin Stroop take a second place in both the first motos, both of them making his debut pro and also here again in Texas. Take a look right now, Trey Kennard, that's his mechanic, he's cheering him on. Hard to believe that both these guys 1 month ago at amateurs are here at the top of the league in the pro ranks.
Thanks, Aaron. Trey Kennard, Austin Stroop, and of course Nico Izzy, all three of these young riders, a great addition to the sport.
Yeah, and they seem to have this added bit of determination as rookies that is, I mean, just really propelling them to the front. And these guys want to be motocross stars, and they're not waiting for a year or two to get in the swing of it. They want to win right away. Just see Austin Stroop, who has been so determined today.
Here they come up. Stroop gets a little bit ahead now of Kennard as they went over that big jump. I wasn't sure. It looked like Kennard was really coming after him, but he must have bobbled on the other side.
Oh, yeah, it definitely looked like Kennard was going to put on a big surge there and not let him by. But look at Stroop is on the gas, already gapped Kennard by a couple of bike lengths here.
What do you like about each one of the three of them, Jeff? What do you see about Austin Stroop and his riding style that you like, for example?
Well, I think just both of the riders, what I was talking about a second ago, is their determination and their desire. I mean, they are coming in totally prepared to race in the pro ranks. They're not wasting any time. And, you know, before we know it, AMA Supercross is going to be around next January, and these guys are going to be mixing it up there also.
That'll be fun to watch. Of course, you'll see a lot of it right here on Speed. I think a big part of it too, Jeff, is the bar has just been raised in this sport so high already by the Ricky Carmichaels and the James Stewarts. I mean, every generation takes it a notch higher. Rick Johnson, Jeremy McGrath, so forth and so on. And now they see where Ryan Villapoto and those guys are prepared to take it as they're getting ready to move up. So Stroop, Kennard, and Izzy all know you got to be ready to play if you want to make a name for yourself in this sport.
Well, there's no doubt about it. These amateurs are prepared, just like Ryan Villapoto was when he came in to the pro ranks. He kind of shocked everybody right away too, and only certain few riders do that. But what's different than a few years back is that this year we've got three riders with Izzy, Stroop, and Kennard. Three riders, not just one guy doing it, that is coming in here. But I'll tell you what, Villapoto this last couple weeks, championship crunch time, the home stretch, he has definitely been focused and determined. And once again here this weekend at Freestone, he is just solid. You just watch his riding style, and it's just flawless. You know, he just seems so strong on the bike, and that's what you have to do at this time of the season.
Unfortunately for Ben Townley, however, the wheels started to come off the wagon. Not completely. He's hung in there, Jeff, but not exactly where he needs to be, because sitting second isn't going to get the job done.
Well, and just what he's doing right now, this second moto, Townley is on the gas. He is riding really strong, and he's letting it all hang out. Villapoto is not that far out in front. And so, when you want to win the championship, you have to be in position to capitalize on somebody else's mistake. Right now, he is in position that if Ryan Villapoto makes a mistake here in this moto, he's going to be able to take advantage of that and take the moto win. But it's been a tough championship between both these guys. It has been neck and neck all the way.
Personally, it seems to me that if Ben Townley doesn't win the moto today, he might not win the overall, but he's got to win the moto today to get some of that momentum going back in his direction, headed to Glen Helen for those final two motos.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be hugely important for him.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Brock Kepler in third, and look who's closed in. Here comes Austin Stroop.
And you know Brock Kepler was not happy with that first moto when Austin Stroop gets by him with just a turn to go. Just really let it all hang out and took that position. So Kepler, being a very determined veteran in this class, takes a look back and sees that it's the 981 again. He's not going to let that mistake happen twice.
It can't be good when you go back to the team transporter and the guys are all looking at you like, you got beat by the rookie?
Yeah, by the amateur kid. Yeah, exactly. And this is that same section.
And guess what? There he goes again.
And this time he went around the outside of him. Interesting, it looked like Kepler just lost his momentum and was dropping down in those sand whoops, down in the holes, and did not go across the top. Stroop took that position fairly easy.
That seems to be Brock's weakest section on this racetrack.
Yeah, there's just something about that. He does not have the line there, but he's been riding great of late here. But I'll tell you what, letting that rookie back by you, that's not a good feeling.
Well, what's the key to getting through one of those sand sections like that? What have you got to do that Brock's not doing?
Well, it just seemed like that time, like I said, he was dropping down in the sand whoops. He was going in, or, up and down, up and down. And you just have to go right across the top, pick the front wheel up, almost wheelie the bike from whoop to whoop.
Austin Stroop making quite a name for himself already on the Monster Pro Circuit Energy team.
I'll tell you what, he's letting the veterans know that he's here. There's no doubt about it. He has been fast each and every moto since he turned pro.
He's going to be challenging this guy next year on that Monster Energy Pro Circuit team. Ryan Villapoto, Austin Stroop will be teammates next year. We'll be right back in Texas.
Is your life lacking a little
National. Watching our race leader, Ryan Villapoto, from our Honda Skycam. Ralph Shaheen, Jeff Emick, and Aaron Bates with you as Villapoto has led this one since the gate dropped.
And the track just looks awesome here in Texas. Great soil. They seem like they have it prepared really well. And you see Brock Kepler. This is through that sand whoop section. If you take a look back at Trey Kennard
and Brett Metcalf. And Metcalf's had some pretty good rides here in recent weeks.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. He had to take a lot of time off with some injuries, a couple different injuries in a row, but showing a lot of determination, and you can see that his work ethic is there, that he is not afraid to work hard, and he's digging deep, really putting in some good rides here at the end of the season as he reels in Trey Kennard.
What do you think about the course design here in Texas?
Well, overall, it's fairly flat. There's not a lot of elevation change. You see some of these man-made tabletops and whatnot. But the great thing about the track here is the soil. I think that this is the perfect type of soil that the riders like. I like how the corners develop. The jumps and everything are staying real clean. And it's getting pretty rough, you know. So the suspension development, the technology all comes into play. Also, the dirt's got a little bit of a lot of traction. It's a little bit deep. So the horsepower of the engine, the horsepower and torque spec has to be right for these bikes to be, perfect.
Well, Ryan Villapoto and his team have dialed in the bike the best so far. He's been out front, won moto number 1 already. Trey Kennard on the Honda right there, number 140. Trying to hold off the advances of the Kawasaki of Brett Metcalf right there on the 123.
And also, just out of the corner of the screen, I see Martin Davalos on the KTM kind of sneaking in back there behind Metcalf. So he's been putting on a pretty good effort here of late, too.
Martin had a real good start at moto number 1 today. Ran pretty good at Steel City. Trying to get up into the thick of the points here today.
And I'll tell you, for a rider like Brett Metcalf, who suffered a couple injuries in a row, it's so hard to keep keep going when you have these setbacks, and he has really dug deep, really kept training and working hard, recovering from the injury, and now he's running back up front again, and this is definitely where he wants to be.
Back into that big sandy whoop section. Boy, that's just nasty through there, isn't it?
And I'll tell you what, a couple years ago, I actually went on some training rides, some bicycle rides with Brett Metcalf back when he was working with the legendary Ryan Hughes, who's just a training animal. And Ryan used to tell me that Metcalf, when it comes to that cardiovascular fitness, is second to none, that the guy really has it. Late in the second moto here in Texas, this is when all that comes into play, when the body's fatigued, the lactic acid in the muscles is building up, you're starting to cramp potentially, and this is where nutrition and training and all that comes into play. And if you've got your program down, this is where you really start to shine. And you see the rookie here, Trey Kennard, coming under fire of the veteran Brett Metcalf, who really knows how to put this training schedule together.
Boy, if Ryan Hughes is giving you the thumbs up like that on your training program and how good a shape you're in, that's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, Ryan was always a hard worker, always really dedicated to that training. He wanted to learn more, to really figure out the body. And since he's retired from professional motocross racing, he's actually trained a lot of different riders, Brett Metcalf being one of them. And so seeing the fruits of that hard work.
I'll tell you what, Kennard's doing a pretty good job, though, Jeff, of hanging on and staying in front of Metcalf. He's not wilting in the heat of the pressure.
No, Kennard has great form, great speed. On the amateur level, he was definitely a standout, one of the stars of amateur motocross. And like I said, it is really impressive for a rider like Trey to come right in and be competitive at the top level straight away.
Nobody challenging Ryan Villapoto yet here in Moto 2 at Freestone County Raceway. Green alerts from Speed. Text KX to 773333 on your mobile phone to receive free motorcycle racing text alerts. Speed Green Alerts presented by Kawasaki. Welcome back to the Monster Energy TechGo Motocross National Round 11 of the 2007 Toyota Motocross Championship. Counting the moto you're watching right now, there are 3 motos left in the season. Series moves on to Glen Helen, California for the season finale. That's coming up. You'll see that here on Speed. These 2 guys will be there. Trey Kennard on the 140, Brett Metcalf on the 123. They're still battling over 5th.
And what's interesting right here, Ralph, is Trey Kennard has been holding off the advance of Brett Metcalf, but as each lap wears on, Metcalf's going to figure out a place.
Like there? Oh, maybe not.
Maybe not, like right there, but he's been stalking him lap after lap. Kennard, as the laps go on, the pressure builds. For Metcalf, as the lap goes on, he figures out new places where he can make a move, and he almost had the pass made there a few corners ago.
Well, school is definitely in session for Trey Kennard. Oh, off the track he goes. Here's that mistake. That makes all the difference. The difference between the veteran and the amateur on the way up.
And there's always the question is, did the pressure make Trey Kennard, the pressure from Metcalf, force him into that mistake, or did he just make that mistake on his own? Only Trey Kennard knows, but look at that. He's not giving up at all right now. He is really going for it.
As we were about to say, I mean, school is definitely in session. Every moment of this is a great learning opportunity for him to see what this level of competition is all about and what he's going to have to do to be a winner and potentially a champion at this level of racing.
And once again, Ralph, just in the back of the screen, Martin Davalos is sneaking up here on these riders. I think he's going to have something to say here as the moto goes on because he's inching forward with each and every lap.
Martin on the KTM. 577 lurking in the background. Metcalf starting to pull away a little bit.
You see Metcalf, as he came into that turn there's some pretty deep braking bumps. He actually just jumped them. He like doubled them. Rather than taking them one by one and letting the back wheel kick up, he just went ahead and gave it a little burst of throttle up and jumped into the turn and missed all those bumps.
There's Martin. He's definitely closing in.
Well, and that's another mistake by Trey Kennard. He just jumped off the side of that tabletop. Luckily, kept it pretty close to the racing surface here. Is he getting fatigued, Ralph? I don't know. We'd have to talk to him afterwards to find out what's going on. But he's definitely making a couple of little mental mistakes here. And Davalos is going to take advantage of that.
Little mistakes at this level, if you open the door for a guy like Martin or Metcalf, they're going to blow right past it.
Oh, yeah. And Davalos, with each and every week, he keeps getting a little better and a little stronger, figuring out his training program, possibly getting the bike dialed in. At the end of this AMA Motocross Championship, he has really been one of the stars. He is riding excellent this week.
Martin has caught Kennard now for sure.
Well, and he's also caught Metcalf, and we were just talking about, in my opinion, Metcalf's physical fitness, with his physical fitness is there. And so Martin is wheeling these guys in. He is moving.
Martin coming up the inside. Got it. So move, not for sure yet. There it is. So Martin, and down goes Metcalf. Martin gets around him. He's going to pick up 2 positions there. So we were thinking about Kennard making a small mistake. It's actually Metcalf that makes a big one. Kennard trying to come back.
Yeah, Kennard says, hey, that's an extra position here. Now's the time to pour it on. Davalos picking up 2 riders in 1 lap.
So he's up to 5th. Kennard is 6th. Looks like Kennard might not be able to keep up the pace yet. Here's the replay.
Okay, watch this. You see Metcalf coming into this right-hand turn, is on the inside and just loses the front wheel until there. Then the traction hooks up, just catapults him off the high side of the bike.
Great job by Martin, Jeff, not to hit him.
Just gets on the outside of him. And for Martin, he still catches this rut right in the middle of the turn, so it doesn't allow Kennard to sneak back by.
So now we go back to the front. Here's Ryan Villapoto, still no challenges, which means that Ben Townley is not gaining any ground in second place. And he needs to win this moto here in Texas.
Thursday night, NASCAR on Speed Hits.
Match of the Monster Energy Techco Motocross National Freestone County Raceway, round 11. Wortham, Texas. First time the series has been here in the state of Texas since 1988. Here's Aaron Bates with Josh Grant.
We spoke about just how tough a day it was for Josh Grant with that sore hand. Josh, 15th place in that first moto, and now you're on the sidelines for this moto. How intense is the pain?
It's bad. It's definitely disappointing. I, went out there and tried to do the best I could, and, it was like the third lap. My hand had fell off the bars, and I ended up crashing. So I think I just need to go out and, just play smart and worry about what's coming up, and that's the Supercross season. And, I'll try to race Glen Helen if I'm able to, and if not, then I'll just focus on next year.
It's a tough go out for all these guys out here, you guys.
And Jeff, it really, oh, look at this, Austin Stroop is out.
Austin Stroop was having a fantastic moto here, running third. That would have put him in the top 3 for the day, possibly even second.
Heartbreaking for the young rider, but
doesn't appear to be anything wrong with his body. Doesn't look like that there was a crash, maybe a mechanical, something of the sort.
Tough break. Well, his teammates are running first and second. Ryan Villapoto and Ben Townsend. That'll move Brock Hepler to third, Davalos up to fourth. And no chance, it seems, for Ben Townley to reel in Villapoto yet.
I tell you what, it's tough when a rider like Villapoto, he is so focused, he is just on, as they say.
Well, what happened to Stroop? Here's Aaron.
Austin Stroop just learning how tough it is here in the pro ranks. Austin, take us through it. What went on in the second moto?
Yeah, I was actually behind Townley, and I just passed Kennard and Hepler, and I just went down the hill, and it just kind of seized up, and it's pretty much done from there. I couldn't do anything but walk back, so it's kind of sucky.
The day is done, but regroup. We'll see you again for the last round.
Well, we'll see a lot more out of Austin Stroop in the future. You can be sure of that. Very impressive, that young rider.
Yeah, very impressive. And you know what? With these 250F bikes, they just really press the limits of the engine as far as horsepower and torque. And the pro circuit guys, they're the best at it. Their bikes have been absolutely dominant this year. And every now and then, when you're just squeezing every little drop horsepower out of these bikes, you're going to have a little problem like that.
Mitch Payton should be very proud of his organization this year, sweeping both rounds of the Supercross Lights classes, and looks like they're going to get the Motocross Lights Championship as well. We'll be right back. We're back to the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship Series. Motocross Lights in action. Monster Energy Techco National Motocross. Ryan Villapoto is out front. There's going to be a lot of movement in the points behind Ryan Villapoto and Ben Townley, though. Josh Grant only ran moto number 1 today. Jason Lawrence isn't here, and neither is Ryan Dungey as we take a look at Ben Townley.
Yeah, a couple of riders out. Jason Lawrence actually has a bruised ankle. I don't think there's anything broke there, but he has a problem with his ankle. The thing was swelled up like a watermelon, so he chose not to ride this weekend. And then, of course, Ryan Dungey out with a broken bone also.
Those guys are all in the top 5 in points coming into the day.
Well, yeah, they have all been top 5 riders, top 6 riders the whole season. But here at the end of the championship, these injuries just getting the best of them.
And a long season. Brock Hepler, on the other hand, on the way up.
Yeah, this is the exact flip side of what we were just talking about. Hepler started with injuries. Now he's coming back, taking over these positions. inside of the top 5, and he's been doing great this season so far. Really using his head, and I think that he needs to, because earlier in the season landed on his head, and severe concussion was what he was out for.
Hepler on the 60, working his way around, doing what he can to reel in Ben Townley. I'm not so sure he's going to be able to do that. And boy, it doesn't look like anybody he's going to catch Villopoto. Jeff, how devastating is it going to be for Townley mentally going to Glen Helen if he does not win this moto today?
Well, it is definitely disappointing. He's going to be a considerable amount of points down going into the final round. All hope is not lost, but you know, Villopoto has been really good of late, so you can't count on him to make any mistakes. But each of these riders just keep plugging away, and you never know how the championship's going to turn out. I mean, remember a few years back with Grant Langston, it seemed like he had the championship wrapped up, broke a wheel in the final race, didn't win the championship. So that's why you have to keep plugging away when that final checkered flag is thrown. That's when the series is over, not now.
And what I think is going to be interesting, too, is when we get to Glen Helen, you got all these youngsters now. They could be great wild cards to spoil it for one of these guys. Look, we saw what Austin Stroop did at Steel City, cutting across, took out both of his teammates in the first corner. A wild happening like that could really wreak havoc in the championship.
Exactly right, Ralph.
It's going to be interesting. We're coming back here to Texas to wrap this one up. Round 11 is almost completed here.
108 on the factory KTM.
Here in round 11 in Worthing, Texas, the Motocross Lights Championship, the white flag is waving for Ryan Villopoto. One more lap to go, and he'll take a significant lead in the points chase.
And what a great feeling it has to be the inaugural winner here. Freestone County Raceway, brand new track. The track actually owned by Tony Miller and his son Clayton Miller and the Miller family. They've really put a lot of hard work into getting this national here in Texas, and it's definitely paying off. Put together a great racetrack for all our national motocross riders.
And my guess is Jeff will be coming back here for many more years. They've really done an outstanding job, and Ryan Villopoto will certainly have plenty of good things to say about it as he gets closer to wrapping up the win here today at Freestone. Villopoto now will turn his attentions to Glen Helen, Jeff. It's just a week away.
Yeah, Glen Helen is a completely different type of racetrack than here in Texas, but the one thing that is constant is his determination to be Lights Motocross champion. I'm telling you, he can't let up at all at this point. He has to race hard to that second moto checkered flag at Glen Helen.
And no reason to think that he won't do anything but. The momentum is completely shifted to his side. Ben Townley now, what's he going to think about during this week?
He just has to keep working hard. He has to keep trying. He has to not give up. Because if you give up, there's no chance of being champion. If you keep plugging away, there's still a little bit of hope.
As long as there's laps to run, your hopes are still alive.
Oh, and Ben Townley, he's been strong this year. There's no doubt about it. But here, these last couple motos, last couple races, last couple motos, just hasn't quite had the momentum that Ryan Villopoto has.
It's just been bad luck that's been hurting Ben Townley. That could change at any given time and shift back to Ryan Villopoto, who's had his share of it already this year as well.
Yeah, it definitely has this season so far. But right now, this is crunch time, and you know, the emotions get involved, and you know, all this belief of whether or not, man, have I done enough to win this championship or not? So each rider has to keep digging deep, just like they have each and every moto.
Two motos, Glen Helen, Southern California season finale. Should be exciting. You'll see it right here on Speed. Looking forward to it. Ryan Villopoto celebrating a win here in Texas as he makes his way through the big sand whoop section for the final time. I'm sure he'll be happy to see that in the rearview mirror for a while.
Oh yeah, he's glad to have them sand whoops behind him. Great race by Ryan Villopoto here today.
Checkered flag here in Texas. Ryan Villopoto wins the first Motocross Lights National here in the Lone Star State. Series returning in some 20 years, and Ben Townley will finish second. Definitely a bit of a shift in momentum from him for where he was in Moto number 1 without question, but still not strong enough to catch this man. We'll be back to talk to them right after this.
The racing you need is only on
Ski, maker of performance-driven motorcycles, scooters, and all-terrain vehicles. And by the all-new 2007 Tundra, the truck that's changing it all. Did you miss any AMA racing action? Want to relive the excitement? Watch all the 2007 AMA Supercross and Superbike events on Speed On Demand online. And it's all free, courtesy of Yamaha. So log on now to speedtv.com, keyword Yamaha, and get up to speed. All the riders on the track are AMA members. Are you? If not, call 1-800-AMA-JOIN or visit AMADirectLink.com. AMA Rights, Riding and Racing. Back here at Freestone County Raceway, wrapping up Moto number 2, there's Ben Townley. He finishes 3rd overall, although finishing 2nd in Moto number 2.
And you can just see the look of frustration on his face, Ralph. He dropped another 3 points in that moto in the championship chase.
There's our Toyota Trucks unofficial results for Moto number 2. And we head down to the victory podium area. Here's Aaron with Ben Townley.
Disappointment is written all over Ben Townley's face right now. Ben, you gave it everything you had out there today. Would you say there's anything that you left on the table?
I don't know, man. I just tripped myself up there, really. The first moto I got out to a great start and went down just in the back in some mud and had to fight my way back through the pack, and it was just tough, making life hard on myself, really. So got out better in the second one. The Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki's are fast. Everyone on our team, Scott, Bridgestone, Bands, Alpine Stars, Thor, Butts Unlimited, just the whole team for all their help. They're doing a great job.
It's obvious a bit of a blow to your confidence heading into the very last round, but what is it that you're going to bring to the table coming into Glen Helen?
Just like I do every weekend, go out and go and try and win. It's tough, to finish second, but I want to win, and can do whatever it takes.
I tell you what, Ralph, these riders like Ben Townley work so hard week in, week out for years. And so when they have this disappointing finish like this, that's how come they have the look on their face like that.
There's the Toyota Trucks overall results. Here's Aaron once again.
Brock, what was it that you brought this weekend that you just haven't been bringing so far?
Man, we just got that Yamaha dialed this weekend. We're drinking lots of Red Bull and wearing bright blue shift gear, so everything's working good. I want to thank all the suspension guys. This was a really rough track, kind of sandy. Sand isn't to my liking, so I'm really happy with my first podium this year overall.
Now, what about starts here? How crucial is a start here at this track?
Well, I think it's pretty crucial. I was up towards the front and I got a good finish today, so it makes it good.
Well, points, Jeff, look like this with 1 round, 2 motos left to go.
Yeah, there's a considerable gap there between Villapoto and Townley. Grant's got 3rd locked up.
It's 19. Here's Ryan with Aaron.
Extending that points lead not only over his teammate but his arch rival Ben Townley. Ryan, you were on the juice this weekend. It didn't matter. Nothing was going to stop you.
Yeah, the first moto didn't get the start I wanted to, and switched it up, went to the very inside, and got the whole shot. It helped out a lot. Just had clear track and was able to do what I could do. And I can't thank the team enough. Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki, Jeff Fox and Parts Unlimited, Toyota of Escondido, Mom and Dad, and Grandma and Grandpa.
1 round left to go. Obviously, the confidence is high right now. What do you do when you go back home?
I don't really know. Just don't want to take it easy, but just want to just keep what I have and go into Glen Helen just to maintain what I have, and that's it.
Well, yeah, at this point, you just have to keep it going. You have to stay in your routine and keep working hard. No doubt Villapoto is going to do that.
Well, you'll see Glen Helen right here on Speed. Make sure you're with us for the season finale from San Bernardino, California, September 18th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Right here, 2 motos, 1 championship, 2 riders. It'll be great.
It is going to be awesome.
For Aaron Bates and Jeff Emick, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Texas, and congratulations to Ryan.